In 2009, the Ontario Liberal government allowed LCV'S to be introduced to our 400 series highways. Now in 2015, these same LCV'S will be allowed to run the 400 highways in the wintertime. These vehicles are touted as being safe. They're being touted that way to the general public. That simply isn't true, and I can show you why. I'm a truck driver with over 35 years experience. I've driven all sorts of configurations in all sorts of weather across North America in these past 35 years. I'll show you why these vehicles aren't safe, particularly in the wintertime. As any truck driver knows, and as most people that travel the highways in the winter can tell you, as the truck travels in snow, the snow is blown out to the sides from the axles riding in the snow. So there's snow billowing out from this axle group on an LCV, and here's a car up beside the rear trailer, traveling in a snowstorm with snow billowing out from every axle group. So this guy here is blinded by the snow, this fellow in the car. Not only that, the truck driver, because of all this billowing snow, cannot see the car. This guy has zero visibility from his mirror. All he can see is snow. He has no idea this guy is here. Now that's dangerous for the fellow in the car, especially if this guy has to move to the next lane to avoid an accident, or for any reason at all. If he changes lanes, he can't see this guy's here. He's going to come over, this trailer is going to hit this car, and this driver won't even know that car is there. As the truck travels on the highway, it's subjected to crosswinds in some instances. Now, everybody knows that trucks in a crosswind are effective. These trailers are carrying more surface area exposed to the wind than a sailing yacht. LCVs are restricted by the weight that they can haul in these trailers. So the wind is buffeting these trailers. As a result, the truck is tracking down the highway at an angle rather than straight in the lane. Right there, that's a problem. Particularly now, if this truck encounters slippery road, he's already out of shape. He's already out of his lane, he's out of shape, he's dragging towards the ditch, or he could be dragging towards the center line, but he's already out of shape. So if he touches the brakes here, the whole thing's going to go sideways. And there's another problem with them. Too much surface area exposed to the wind. The general public is being told, well, the government's done safety and infrastructure studies to prove that these vehicles are safe. The studies were funded by the OTA. The OTA is a group of large trucking companies that will gain financially from this configuration of truck. And when they did the study, they didn't study the ramps, the on-ramps and the off-ramps and the side streets. They only studied the 401 highway. Certainly in ideal conditions, one of these things can probably drive down a straight line and on the highway. But getting on and off the highway are a big part of what these things have to do. That infrastructure wasn't studied at all. Let's make no mistake about it here. The goal of these LCVs is to generate more revenue for the trucking companies. It's as simple as that. And of course their statistics will show you how safe these things are. But of course they're juggling their statistics because it's to their benefit financially to do so. In ideal conditions, on an ideal day, these things probably can function on a trip without having any trouble. But it's not an ideal world. And the highways never have ideal conditions all year long. There are always things that come up. Accidents in front of you, bad weather, zero visibility, and that's when these things are going to be a danger. We've all seen accidents involving tractor trailers on the highway, and the carnage sometimes is incredible because of the size of the truck. These trucks are twice the size of a regular truck. So imagine the damage and the carnage these things can create when they go out of control. The Ontario Liberal government is trying to convince the public that these things are safe. The Ontario Liberal government is also the father of the gas plant scandal that cost us $950 million. Clearly, they're not to be believed. What the Liberals and the OTA are giving us is a partial truth, but it's not the whole story. And the public needs to know the entire story to determine the truth for itself. There are facts missing, facts and pertinent figures missing from the information. But the reality of it is what I've shown you here. The driving public is not being told the entire truth. So let's just summarize here. You've got a vehicle of about 130 feet in length that creates its own little snowstorm as it travels down the highway, wiping out visibility for everyone behind it. We've got a massive vehicle with a massive surface area that catches an awful lot of crosswind, traveling on roads that are potentially icy. Another formula for disaster. The whole scenario is revenue-based rather than safety-based. And the people that are making the decisions on whether these things travel or not are influenced by the money, not by the safety factor. So the whole scenario is revenue-based, right from the trucking company to the provincial government. Safety is not truly what's on their minds. Revenue is what's on their minds. These things will be dispatched in inclement weather because rather than hold the freight back, the trucking companies will send these guys out in the storms and hope they make it because they've got time schedules and deliveries to meet, rather than consider the driving safety of the public. The province of Saskatchewan now is running tests on LCV'S pulling 3 trailers, so vehicles almost 200 feet long. Saskatchewan is testing these vehicles now, and if Saskatchewan gets them, sooner or later you know they'll come here too.